Welcome back everybody, Canadian Silver Saver here, and today is another exciting episode of Silver Hunt Sunday. And I'm really excited about this week because I've picked up a small amount, but a good variety of some items here, some Canadian and some British silver. But I also want to talk about, while I'm showing you this, a little bit about how I feel what's happening with the markets right now, and why I'm actually excited about what's happening and I'm not worried. And, hopefully this will get some conversation going. So I went out to a local LCS because I didn't have time to hit the antique markets and do garage selling or anything this weekend, sadly. But I was able to pick up a few fun things. I asked them for their junk silver bin, and I was able to get some of that. And I was pretty happy with what I was able to pick up. So let's start with the junk silver and show you what I picked up here. And the first one I'll show you is the 1939 Canadian silver dollar here. It's got some beautiful toning on it. I actually had one very similar sent to me by Dean Mormon there, and this was in the bin there. And I went there with a friend. I've got a friend of mine who's new to stacking, but understands the markets, or why it's important to do so. And George on the back there. Really nice toning on that one. It's going to go in my tube. I'm just trying to fill a tube of some silver. I am trying to get one of each year, apart from the rare ones, because I'll get those at some point maybe, but this is just to fill a tube up, and I think I'm like 4 away now, so that's pretty exciting. This one here was, I don't know if I want to toss it in the tube, to be honest, because it's in such great condition. This is almost proof like uncirculated. You can see there, it's not cleaned. It's just a beautiful 1963 Canadian silver dollar. Queenie on the back there, just looking beautiful. There's a few others that were in similar condition but clearly cleaned, and I just thought this was great to see something so, just not used really at all. That's awesome. It's older than me, and better shape than me too. Oh, there's me a little bit. A little sneak peek. Ooh. It was exciting today. My wife and I, Kate and I, went down to see a good friend of the community, Mimaru. Mimaru had commissioned a piece from my wife from Kate Reed's Artwork Wednesdays, and we dropped that off today, and then we went for lunch, and it was just a beautiful day out, top-down drive. Went and saw a friend of the community and sat and had a great conversation, and got to sample some wonderful homemade brisket that had just been smoked out in the barbecue. So it was quite the treat for sure. But we're out. Lots happening. We went out for lunch, and some conversations came up. That doesn't want to stay there. Something important for me and my channel was to talk about why I'm not overly worried about what's happening. Of course, there's concerns. Of course, we can have if you look at what's in your stack, and if you've lost money over the last little while because of the market, but that's only if you're selling. That's only if you need to sell right now, everybody. And if you're not selling, if you're stacking and you're just adding to what you've got, this is kind of the time, this is the test for the true investors, the true metal fanatics, I guess, the collectors, the stackers. If this is something that you are truly passionate about, you really do understand, you watch the market, you watch history, look at your graphs, listen to some of the silver pushers, just so you can get some insight into what's happened in the past. But take all that stuff with a grain of salt, and then put all that information together and make your own good solid choices. And here's why I feel like now is the perfect time to buy. A good solid choice is always to buy when it's low, right? Well, now it's low. It is doing a lot of moves recently. There's a lot of reasons out there, and I really avoid the political stuff. But I do well with my investments, and this is when things like this happen. I see a lot of people panic and worry and get concerned and say the market's not going anywhere, and I'm wasting my time and my money. And that's only if you need to sell your stack now. If you're investing for down the road, or you're investing for maybe a down payment on your house, and it's a good way to put money aside. There's lots of reasons why people stack and put aside what they do, and I think that it doesn't matter when the market drops unless you need to sell it right now. And of course, if a major house repair comes up and you don't have enough in other forms and you need to cash in a bit of your metals, it is going to be a little bit of an unfortunate hit for you. But that's why you never want to have all your eggs in one basket. That way you can tap into other investments in other areas that are doing well at that time. I would take a look at cryptocurrencies. I would take a look at some stocks. But you can't rely on any of it. You can't rely on cash to maintain its value. With the interest rates, the inflation, the way things have gone, the value of our dollar is just, not just the Canadian dollar, I don't mean Canadian versus US of the world, I mean of the buying power of what it can do is ridiculously changed over the last few decades. So it's always a smart thing to have your eggs in multiple baskets so that you can tap into those eggs if you are hungry to pay off a bill, or do a car repair, or you've got to put that down payment on the house because you've been saving a long time. So with the kind of why I believe that it's a good time rant over, I've spent some money on some silver right now. Now this is a little bit higher premium piece. This is the Big Ben coin. There we go. And I've got a nice order coming from the CoinShoppe where I've got quite a few features, and I've got a great collector's close-up this week coming. Lots of great stuff that I am picking up, and now's the time to buy, everybody. Silvergoldbull.ca has a great deal on right now, 10 ounces of silver at spot price. Well, if you were buying when they first brought that out, you were spending too much money. Now you can get it at a cheaper deal, but that's part of the game, right? One thing that I think is important to pay attention to is if you follow emails and newsletters and that, when you get the email saying, spot price is dropping, buy now, I usually just wait a few days. That's usually a little indication that the people out there know, and they want people to buy before it drops that little bit more. I'm not always right with that, but I'm really confident when I say that I'm almost always right with that. And you can maybe miss by 50 cents here or there, but it's a pretty fun game to play when you do that. So sign up to those newsletters, and if they tell you, buy now, the spot price is dropping, just kind of hold off a bit and then make your purchase. So head on over there, pick up your 10-ounce bar at spot price if you haven't already, one per household. Finally, a deal available to Canadians. They've done that a lot in the US, so very cool. So this one here, it's the 1 ounce Big Ben, Queenie on the back here. I wanted to do a bit more conversation in my video today rather than just show the silver. We all love our silver. We can look at it. We understand it. But it's good to know maybe why I do what I do. And how I can make the decisions I am, and how I can keep profitable, keep the business running, keep my collector habits fulfilled and needs fulfilled, and all still while doing losing money despite what the market's doing. So I buy differently depending on what the market is doing. Very cool. I love how it looks up at the Big Ben there. And I have British background. I was the firstborn here from England, and mom and dad split and then struggled a bit when I was very young, and we always remembered where we came from. So I thought this was just something I had to add to my stack. Premium was a bit high on these, everybody, so if you do go to pick these up, they're going to be a little bit higher than a lot of people want to spend, but something I definitely wanted to have. So a lot of times, if I spend money on this and I want to have some fun, I go out for a trip, have some lunch, and I grab something like this, it's better in buying this than maybe a new baseball hat or a new toy for outside, so to speak. You know what I mean? Great way to kind of curb your bad habits. You can still make that purchase, but it's going to go to something great. Oops. There they go. All right, hopefully everybody enjoyed that. I rambled on a little bit, but I really think it's important to talk about why we do what we do and what's happening with the markets right now. Stay strong. This is the test for the strongest of us. And when we get through it, we're going to do well. So take care. We'll see you in a couple of days, and then I've got my collector's close-up at the end of the week. It's going to be a lot of fun. See you then, everybody. Canadian Silver Saver.